Hello everyone, I'm Solar Wolf, and today I was looking through my stuff and I found this beautiful piece of fairy grass that I'd had set up, and for the life of me, couldn't remember why. So today, we're going to make another fairy garden with it and add to our fairy garden worlds. So let's get on it. Alright, so what I decided was that I've got this nice little house here that I'd painted a while back. And I had 3D printed this from a 3D print file that I got for free from Cults 3D. And I really like how detailed it was. And so we're going to be making that the structure that is on our little property. We're going to get some foam safe super glue onto the base around the entire set of edges. And then we're just going to place it and press it down. And this is Lady Geeva's house. It's part of the Fairy Gardens worlds, and she is the potion seller for the gnomes. She has a bit of a big head, some kind of brass colored skin, as she is a brassie after all, and brassies are made of brass. So I decided I was going to take some of these rocks, guys, and get them glued together. In this case, I had a flat one that fit perfectly to match up with this, so we use a bit of super glue. And then we're also going to use a little bit of super glue accelerator so that we can get it going a bit faster. And let me tell you guys, super glue accelerator is absolutely a project changer. It will speed things up for you so much. But where Lady Geeva lives is in the Whitestone Mountains. The Whitestone Mountains are named such because all of the stone of the mountains is white, like plaster. We're just going to find a nice place to get that set. We're going to put it right here. I think it would look really nice right here, so we're going to super glue that down. And guys, you'll find I use a few different types of super glue. All of them are foam safe. This one is Thin Flow. I also use Super Gold Plus. So those are both really good foam safe super glues. Just want to make certain that everything is held into place real good. And anyhow, Lady Geeva started making potions when she was very, very young. Was learning from her grandmother and things, and her mother. For all of the people in Lady Geeva's family have been potion makers for the gnome tribes. Now the gnome tribes don't share the borders with the goblins. The goblins and gnomes don't necessarily get along. So gnomes tend to live within the high mountains regions near the center of the continent. And where Lady Geeva lives, there's a lot of plant life. Lots of flowers. This pine tree that I had made, I made using a bit of wire, a bit of armature wire, and some twine, which, you pull the twine apart until it's the fibers, and then you just twist it. In my case, I've learned I've had to do it by hand. I can't use a drill. It'll just fling the pieces everywhere, and that's not good. So, instead, I just do it by hand, and it works out just fine. You can see me here selecting a drill bit so that I can get some holes punched so that the trees and bushes and things can get placed down properly. And then we're just going to place this one pine tree back here in the back. Just punch a quick hole and super glue it into place. Now where Lady Geeva lives, there are a lot of mushrooms that she uses for her potions and things, as well as there are plenty of flowering plants such as hemlock and whatnot that she uses to make anti-poisons and other things like that as well. And Lady Geeva lives alone. She is a very solitary lady. She goes into town once a month. But she is well known and well renowned by the people, and they just really love having her along and having her around. She is probably most of the people in town's favorite person, as she has saved enough lives to be so. It did take me a little bit, guys, with that one tree. I have to fight them going through the fairy grass, because the fairy grass itself has a fabric bottom, so that you can glue it to your ground-based medium. But this also means that punching holes through it is a bit difficult and things of that nature. But we got it. We're going to take this nice little flowering bush. And like I said, Lady Geeva tends to enjoy being around flowers and trees and the things that she would need for potions. She also happens to live right near an apple tree, or in this case it's a berry tree, but that will be coming in later. For now, we just want to get some more of the basic trees and things laid out for you guys. And I will continue more of the story here in just a few moments. You'll notice, guys, that I haven't used any washes or anything on the stones because of where this specific character lives is called the Whitestone Mountains, like I said. And so all the stone in the area is going to be white like that. It's also why I chose to keep the sides white, as it's all part of where Lady Geeva lives. You can see me here putting down some flowering grasses. So we've got some little flower bushes. And Lady Geeva planted all of the flowers and bushes and things that are here. And she really just enjoys living where she does in the mountains. I did have a little trouble with that one bush, but I finally got it. So now it sits there nicely. And then I was just kind of digging around for any trees that kind of looked like they fit, any grasses that looked like they were going to fit. Like we have these really nice white tipped grasses that I saw that I really like the way they look. They look kind of like thistle bushes, and so I really liked that. So we just wanted to get some holes punched so that we could get it cleared out and get them glued into place. Now the nice thing is that the hole size that I chose to punch is enough for me to just kind of pressure fit them into place, and they sat just fine. Got one more to put down here. You can see that the super glue has been stripping from the stones. I did end up, after the video, going back and re-super gluing those down, just to make certain that they were stiff and tough and made certain they were held into place, because the last thing you want is your project falling apart. Starting to look really good now. I'm going to go and grab a few more things. We want to get a nice little weeping willow in there. We're going to put it back here at the back behind the little house. And there we go. We've got some more beauty in it. Now I just want to move those aside. Let's get these set. And welcome to mat cleaning time, where we clean up all of our mess just so that we can get this taken care of and all of that. And I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today here on this journey. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I want you to know that. Also, please remember, if you are new to this channel, to hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment down below on a project you want to see me do, and remember to share out, just so that more people can see this beautiful creation that I have made. Alright, so these are the mushrooms that we're gonna be putting onto the diorama. I do clip the wires off the bottom, which I will use at a later date as like reeds for a swampy area or something. So I do always keep materials even if I clip them free. In this case, these pieces of wire will be very good for, you know, reeds and things, because they are green paper wrapped, so they make for great, like, stiff-stemmed plants. Cattails, reeds, things like that. They also work good for iron grass if you're doing like a Dragonlance diorama or a Dragonlance game mat. They make for great iron grass because of their stiffness. But we're just going to place this one little red mushroom right here. Now, the reason that she has these specific mushrooms here is they are great for using for medicines, for if you have a tummy ache and things like that. Or at least for their world. For our world, not so much. For their world, yeah, definitely. And so she grows these on purpose because they are a big help to her with her potions. Lady Geeva is also the last of the Brassy. There are no more. Unfortunately, Brassy don't breed like humans do and stuff, so there were less Brassy born than died, and eventually she was the last. She has taken a spell of immortality, giving her the Veil of Immortality, because, we can't afford to lose the last of a race. And then she pretty much has lived up here since and just does potions for the local fairies and everyone else. So what you see there is Lady Geeva in my hand. We are going to be using some paint pens to paint her later on. But first, I want to get these bushes. I've got some more flowering bushes and some crabgrass clusters, some crabgrass tufts, and so I wanted to make certain that we got those. And unfortunately, these are not the self-stick type, so I did have to apply super glue. What's taking me so long right here, guys, is that I was looking for my tweezers. I had to make certain that I had the right set. Now, these aren't self-stick, so you will have to apply super glue. I didn't realize that at first, and so this first one that I tried to place, it wouldn't stick down. It's what made me realize that they probably aren't self-stick. So just be aware that they don't always make a self-stick variety of grass tuft. Like if you peel it up and you see how the way that looks, and there's no stick to it, and that's what gave away that they had used hot glue, which means it has no stick to it. You just add a bit of glue, super glue, whatever, to the bottom, and then stick it into place instead. You do have to hold them into place a little bit, because using the activator with the static grass that they use for grass tufts will cause the grass tufts to char, and they'll end up with a scorched set area, and it will make them not look very good. But as you can see, once I started getting everything laid out, it started looking really, really nice. I was really happy with the way that it looked. I know I said really like 4 times back to back there, but really? That's your complaint? I'm just kidding. Now, mind you, throughout this whole thing, I ended up super gluing my fingertips to a lot of things. I'm real prone to it. Unfortunately, that just kind of has to happen sometimes. Alright, so we've got our little grass tufts out. Now we're going to work on getting a small line of some flowering bushes. And these are just some pink flowering grasses that I had ordered, and they're just like the grass tufts. They do require having the super glue applied, but they work great. And so I was really happy with that. But back to the story of Lady Geeva. The reason that she chose to live in this specific location is it already had a large amount of the flowers and stuff that she would need for her potions. And so she settled here, and it was a long time ago. Not one of those long time ago galaxy far away things. No, she's a gnome, so she lives if it weren't for the veil of immortality, she would live a natural 400 years. And so she's already into year 280. She's, middle-aged for a gnome, I suppose. And she chose to live here because of two reasons. She's alone. She's the last of her kind. And it's got all of the materials she would need to get everything that she needs to do done. I did end up having this one flower set tried to glue to the tweezers. I say a lot, don't mind me. It's usually because I forgot what I was trying to say, so that's the thing. But as you can see, we've got the nice little flowering bushes laid down and everything. And then we're going to be grabbing one final tree. This is some watered down super glue, or watered down glue, just basic watered down white glue. We're going to spray it with some isopropyl alcohol to help it to spread a bit. And then I've got some flower tufts and things that I wanted to throw down with my flocking to make a small patch of wild flowers amongst the grass, which I thought made it look very, very homely, very nice. And you can see me kind of pressing it down into the grass a bit. This will help it to adhere to the glue. Another nice thing about using isopropyl alcohol to help break the surface tension of the glue is that because of this, when I push it down into the grass, it looks very nice, and the isopropyl alcohol will actually make the glue dry a bit faster. As we all know, isopropyl alcohol has a very fast evaporation time, and so it helps the glue to dry a bit faster. Helps cut a little more time off of your dioramas and things. Now we've got, I believe, one last tree that we're going to be placing, which would be this berry tree, which it's actually an apple tree for the model type, but because of the small scale of what we're working with here, guys, and it being a gnome, this is actually a berry tree, and then it's surrounded by all these youngling trees. But this is our apple tree. I've got an apple tree, an orange tree, and a lemon tree, and I'm probably going to be ordering more of these just so that I can do some more with the fruit trees. I bought a huge 166 piece set, and so I've got just so much to work with now, guys. It's unreal, but at the same time, it's so amazing to do this for you guys, and I love these builds. These builds are so fun. But today is a gathering day for our dear Lady Geeva. So we're going to give her a quick paint job using some acrylic paint pens, because we've got this portion done. So now all we got to do is paint Lady Geeva and get her placed, and we will be able to call it good, I guess. So because she's a brassy, she's going to have like a brass gold skin, which I personally really like. And the way that I made her look is very, very unique to her as a character. I'm currently looking for my acrylic paint pens. I have a 12-pack that includes silver and gold, so that's helpful. We can use the gold as a brass. I was going to do like a pink underlayer for skin and decided we would go a different route. So I pulled out this really nice teal, blue-greenish color. It was supposed to be green. It's actually closer to a teal even once it dries. But we're just going to go ahead and these will be her eyes. And you can tell, guys, I'm trying to keep things more in focus now. I know that the last video that I posted to this new channel was not the best quality. It was still completely enjoyable and watchable. It just wasn't the best quality, and I could have done a lot better. But this is Lady Geeva. She's got blue-green eyes. She wears a blue flap dress, or a split-side dress, I should say. Has white hair, and is a potion-making gnome. Not really a whole lot there, is there? But you guys have gotten bits and pieces of the story throughout, so that's also fun. As you can see, it's decided to zoom in on my hand. So, you know, like any good YouTuber for crafting, got to make certain you guys get a great shot of up close of my hand so you can see each individual pore. All the dirt that collects as I'm doing my crafting. My torn up worker's hands. The end of the pen. You know, all those things that should be not in the way have to be in the way, because I wouldn't be a good DIY channel if I didn't have my hands all over the place and in the way. Right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. Anyhow, Lady Geeva is a very unique character to the world, as she is the only one. She's also a very prim and proper lady, which is why she's called Lady Geeva. She will not overstep boundaries or things of that nature, and almost always will go out of her way to help when she can. So as you can see, we've got her blue dress and blue shoes done. Now we're going to do her hair. No, we're going to do her skin. I think that would be the better one, would be to get her skin tone done. Now again, because I'm using paint pens, she's not going to get like full coverage that you would get if you were just using paint and fine tip brushes, detail brushes. But I was kind of in a rush. I didn't have a lot of time to get this whole thing thrown together. I had a meeting to get to that I was trying to get this done before, and I got real lucky. I was about 10 minutes off from having to get my butt there, so that's a thing. But Lady Geeva has 3 specialties, potions being her main, but she also knows some forms of healing magic, and she also knows how to craft things to survive. She has survival crafting skills, which is a necessity in the world, so it is what it is. So as you can see here, I'm just making certain I've got the skin tone for her completely correct, and we got that done. So now we're going to move on to her hair, which is white. Due to her being elderly, according to human age ranges anyways. But brassy in this world are always born with white hair. White hair is just their natural giveaway aside from their skin tone. And I tried to get her eyebrow. Unfortunately, I got a glob of white that just kind of stuck there. And so I had to find something to get that wiped away a little bit. But other than that, she's, came along just fine. I'm really enjoying having the paint pens. As you guys know, I do a lot of hand painting. From the previous video, you saw me hand paint David, the dwarf. And so to have the acrylic paint pens, to have, like, if I have a quick project I need to get done, and I've only got a short amount of time, these make for a good temporary thing. Or, like in this case, they were just what I chose to use to color her with, as I thought it was going to look really nice, and I was quite pleased with the way it turned out. You can see that I'm getting paint pretty much all over myself, which is normal. If I'm not covered in paint and glue and random other stuff from doing crafts, then I have not been working hard enough. Just my personal opinion. Anyhow, Lady Geeva is probably one of my more favorite characters that I have come up with. She doesn't have a lot of backstory yet, so I am working on that, and there will be stories and things that come out later on in this new channel, Solarcrafting, that will be based around each diorama that I have made. So I really hope you guys are going to be looking forward to that. And then as we're getting to it, we're almost done with her hair now. And then it will just be a matter of gluing her into place. And then we'll just have to deal with the glamour shots. And again, thank you so much for being here today. If you've made it this far today, please leave a comment below on what you'd like to see me do as a project next, because I'd really like to know what you guys would like to see. But we're just going to finish up the paint job on our dear Lady Geeva. And then we will get her glued into place, and it will be on to the glamour shots. Alright, I'm just kind of getting everything cleaned up a bit, guys. We want to make certain that everything is clean, because you know, you don't want to keep a dirty crafting area. Alright, now let's get her glued into place. And while we glue her into place, I will say my thank yous. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here today again. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I love your faces. Oh, I did drop her. Unfortunately, the tweezers had slipped, and so that's why she fell free from them. We're just going to go ahead and get her locked tight into place. Now I'm just going to have to hold her into place for a few moments so that she can stay put while I grab my activator. Quick spray. And there we go. And now it's time for the glamour shots. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I totally love your faces, guys. And we will see you in the next amazing streamer video. Bye-bye, guys.